Does your progress sometimes feel like it's one step forward and two steps back? That you find yourself sliding into dips that take you way too long to get out of? A simple shift in your mindset will allow you to continue on an upward trajectory in a much more positive way. I'm Ian Hawkins, and this is Sport is Life. The purpose of sport, as I see it, is to see your vision become a reality. Find your voice, create strong connections, and learn to trust your body. Nothing is ever standing still. It's either moving forward or it's moving backwards. Everything is energy, oscillating, moving. I like how Dale Bowman, a business coach, talks. You're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting. So if you're going to be always moving, you may as well be moving in a forward direction. One of the challenges is because there is a oscillating path, there's ups and there's downs. When the down comes, you can get stuck in a feeling like, here we go again, or allowing yourself to be dragged down with the downward momentum and staying in that hole for longer than you need to. The great Jim Rohn talked about enjoying the plateau. When we grow, it's not just a constant line. There are times where you might have a rapid period of growth from a mental perspective. Then the rest of your life's almost got to catch up with it. But that's when everything can slow down. And the important thing is to be able to hold your nerve, hold your thoughts, stay in a positive mindset where it feels like things have ground to a halt, or like I said, or if it feels like you're sliding down into the abyss. Even if it's just a little trough, you can sometimes get caught in a negative mental space. And the way I like to look at it for people who are on a growth path, which you all that are listening to this are, is that oscillating line, like imagine it like a radio wave going up and down. That's on an upward trajectory. So if you could imagine that up and down line, that wave on an upward trajectory, the down line is actually more like a straight line. It's more of that plateau. So you're going on a steep curve, and then the down is more of just a flattening line because of that upward trajectory. But how often are you getting caught in feeling like that everything's paused, or you feel negative, and you're not staying strong? You're allowing yourself getting caught in negative spiral of thought, of behaviors that take you further backwards than you needed to. It's why sometimes it can feel like one step forward, two steps back. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but instead just because you're allowing yourself getting drawn into negative thinking or overthinking that's dragging you back. So sometimes it's just as simple as just reminding yourself that this is temporary. This is a plateau. And the best bit is, if things are slowing down, or, like it feels like I'm in a bit of a dip, how exciting I'm about to go on another period of growth. And you might need to write this down. You might need to make it somewhere visual, because if you can hold your nerve through those times, if you can stay strong mentally through those times, your growth will accelerate, your output will accelerate, your consistency will improve, and your performance will go to all new levels. And it's so much about your ability to control your thoughts, to control your thinking, to keep yourself on track. So if you look at where you're at right now, are you on an upward trajectory? Which means enjoy what you're doing and make sure while you're going up that you continue to stick to the habits that got you there in the first place. Because sometimes when things are good, we can stop doing the things that work, and that'll take us back to the downward part of the wave quicker. So keep doing the things that got you there, and also remembering that as well as the down and the flat part being temporary, the up is temporary as well. Of course, it's as sure as night is day, then we'll have these waves. So keeping yourself doing the things that got you there, keeping those good habits up, and then as things start to sort of, you're getting maybe the crest of the wave, and can't eke anything more out of that rise, then just continuing to do those good habits, the things that got you there, looking after your health, eating right, whatever it is that works for you, meditation, journaling, all those things that high performers do. Continue to do those things, whether you're on the upward trajectory or on the downward. And again, keeping yourself at that same mental state, because then what you'll be able to do is then keep yourself in a positive state, and you'll start to be able to have the upward trajectory in a much faster speed. You might even start bringing those waves closer together, so that almost every day you've got a rise, and then you might have a bit of a dip, and then you're going to rise again, and you're constantly on that state of rising. And sometimes, particularly if you haven't been on a much of a growth incline for a while, it might feel like you're accelerating, because suddenly you're learning all these new things, they're working. There can be a sense of, where's this stuff been all my life? Like, I can't believe the progress I'm making. Yeah, that's living. And if you think back to where you've been, or maybe even where you are now at the moment, where you're thinking, I need more, I want more, I've got to take more action. Well, by following this thinking around the ups and downs is going to help you to not only stay on track, but start accelerating the growth. You've taken the time to listen to this whole episode. Now it's time to take action. Commit to one thing you've learned today and make it happen. And to avoid any obstructions, join the Sport is Life movement by clicking on the link in the show notes.